Electric Football Week 12, Steve and Stu. Here we go.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Chicago at the Lions, and the Lions wore the ugliest uniforms I've ever
Wow,
seen.
what was that?
They're not silver; they're like gray.
Ugh.
It's if you were trying to blend in, to the turf or something, maybe they work.
It looked like meat left out a few days.
Yeah, they're horrible. The Rams uniforms last night weren't any better. Don't get me wrong.
Sunglasses on for that.
But at least you can see it. Like if I was a quarterback, I'd want the electric yellow running out there. As the arms
I can't cover him. I can't see
chaos was there. I see a bright yellow light. It's either at the end of the tunnel or it's my freaking receiver. Trubisky is a big question on this one. Is he healthy or not? If not, I guess it's Chase Daniels. We're getting into some, like, Chase Daniels has been around forever as a backup, and God bless him. And we're getting into some of these guys late in the season now. It's
too many
Daniels.
Teams.
It's Colt McCoy. Mark freaking Sanchez
the
got
butt fumble's
signed.
back.
You're telling me there wasn't a quarterback that graduated from college the last 4 or 5 years that isn't better, that like an unsigned guy that isn't better, prospect a higher upside than Mark Sanchez? So that will make a difference, but I don't think it's going to make much of a difference because I think Khalil Mack is going to snack on some Stafford leg.
Yeah.
He's going to eat some Zach Zenner heart for his dessert. I'm taking Chicago and its defense. I watched what they did to my Vikings. It wasn't as close as the scoreboard might tell you. They are a very good team right now, balanced on offense. Mm-hmm. Trubisky is showing escapability and the ability to extend not only the play in the pocket scrambling around, but he's extending the runs and getting that extra 3 or 4 yards. That, it's the difference between fourth and one and
he's got
first
nice
down.
Awareness of where the line of scrimmage is. When he is scrambling, he's taking the look downfield, which he's maturing. I'm liking what I'm seeing from him.
And he's not taking big hits. So give me the Bears, even though they're on the road.
Yeah, it's Thanksgiving.
Oh, and short week.
Yeah.
Sunday night to first game Thursday. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo, that's tough.
And that's when defense usually wins. I mean, it's easier to be preparing for defense than it is for offense. I usually take the Lions on Thanksgiving just because I think they're a little charmed there. I'm all over the Bears this week, too. Yep.
Washington at the Cowboys. And Colt McCoy from Texas sure sounds like a Cowboy to me, but he's playing for the other team. There are people that are saying Colt McCoy is actually the better quarterback than Alex Smith, and those people are wrong. I'm sorry, but his
Most people do YouTube
prognostication right next to it. No, I'm serious. There was an argument about it today, and the one guy was like, as a starter, he was 7-18. You can't say he's better than Alex Smith, and I agree with that. I think the Cowboys are being gifted a division here with a home game against Washington that can put them in a tie for the division, unless I missed my standings. And they've figured out that hey, we have no wide receivers. We don't really have a scary tight end. Jason Witten's up in the booth being horrible, by the way.
Yeah.
Romo, good.
A little better.
Witten not so good, though. I like Witten a lot.
Yeah.
I respect him as a player, but not so much as an announcer at this point. But I do like the Cowboys with a healthy Zeke Elliott to win this game.
Yeah, the Cowboys should be more successful passing the ball right now, and they're not. I mean, they've been pretty mediocre to average throwing the ball. But this injury changes everything. And I think I read it was on the anniversary of Theismann's
Yeah, it was. They
break.
were making the comparison to the Theismann break.
And then someone posted it was on the exact same yard line. I'm like, yeah, probably not, but
even if it was, come on, folks, that's not the cosmic football gods coming down to strike down the Redskins for having the name Redskins.
Anyway, I think just the Cowboys at home, short week, better team, especially without Alex Smith for Washington. It's the Cowboys.
Falcons at Saints. Breeze has 1 interception and 2 fumbles so far this season, and so does all of the Falcons' defense. Vic Beasley, where are you? Like, that defense has just crumbled. They have underperformed massively. Julio Jones is becoming the Larry Fitzgerald of this generation, if you will. Just a great, transcendent player. Him and A.J. Green are going to be 2 guys that you look at and go, how did they never win a championship? But it's looking like they'll never win a championship. Right now, Breeze has taken over the lead for the MVP. The defense is ferocious. They're all go into the ball every play. The hustle is there.
They are fast.
They're tenacious. There's nothing to not like about the Saints. This one's pretty easy. Saints in a blowout.
Yeah, I don't, I don't believe Atlanta's going anywhere. I think they'd be looking at changing coaches this year. I mean, this is a very talented roster that is totally underachieving. You have to go with this. The Saints, other than last night's performance by both the Rams and the Chiefs, the Saints are the hottest ticket in town consistently. I mean, Drew puts up 51 points a week. These other teams were just gutting it out last night. Fantastic game. But I like the Saints here to light it up.
Here's a question. Was that a fantastic game or not? Because as an old school purist, I'm going, it was a fantastic video game. And there were great plays all over the place, don't get me wrong, but it felt like arena football.
I loved it.
Really?
Yeah. And I love a 6-3 game too.
Okay.
How can you not love 105 points?
I don't know. I'm like, maybe I'm the Grinch that stole Monday Night Football.
Get back on top of the mountain.
I just feel like the game has changed dramatically recently, and it has changed. They want massive scoring. They don't trust the fan to be able to appreciate a close late game. And it makes the starts of games almost, it's like a basketball game almost. You don't have to watch the first 3 quarters of basketball. You just have to tune in for the fourth and see who's going to outscore who. And I kind of feel that way. No lead is safe.
I disagree.
Yeah, I know. It's weird. I should like it. There were great plays. I'm jumping up when Aaron Donald is doing his second strip sack and Ekubon or however you say that.
Yeah, I can't say it. I won't try to.
Tyreek Hill is amazing. I just kept turning to Kim and go, he's so fast. And she's like, I get it. And I'm like, no, you don't get it. He's doing that to like defensive backs. He's amazing. Every game he's open for one long touchdown.
And isn't his helmet a little too big?
His body's a little too small.
Yeah, it's just kind of awkward looking on him.
As a man with a giant head, I can't really. I'm a size 72 hat. I mean, like, I can't. Honest to God, I'm like a
Jack in the Box
guy. I'm like an 8. I got a 5 head. Look how long that freaking thing is, too.
Yeah, it is kind of frightening.
Oh, my God.
We should move on.
Yeah, we can talk about how ugly I am another time.
On to Sundays. Speaking of Browns.
Bengals. Browns are an ugly team. But I honestly think they have one more win in them this season, and it's going to come against the Bengals. This one's, on the road, but I kind of like them coming off the bye. They're a young team. They're fired up. The rest of their season is the Texans, the Panthers, the Broncos, and the Ravens. They ain't winning any of those. So I'm taking the Browns in a wee bit of an upset here.
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, the Bengals, I mean, how much more done can... And what happens when you bring in Hugh Jackson? To a guy from the losing culture. He's only there for one reason, to help the Bengals this week, and then they're going to jettison him. But I have to take the Bengals at home here. I'm not a fan of them.
Come on, he knows all the secrets that the Browns have to their success.
Yeah, he can't run. He's terrible. Landry won't score a touchdown. Landry. But I'm a big believer in the home team in this series, and it's the Browns.
My favorite Landry was on Friday Night Lights. Anyway, San Francisco at the Buccaneers. And by the way, if you have not watched Friday Night Lights,
show ever.
Coach Taylor, won't you be my daddy? Anyway, San Francisco at the Buccaneers, and it seems to me that San Francisco, even with a bad record, is playing hard. I mean, you're on your third string quarterback and you're winning games. There's no quit in them. I like the running back Breida, however you say it, Breida.
Yeah.
Kittle has had an amazing season. I like San Francisco to win here. A decent offensive line. What do we got? Staley and McGlinchey and those kind of guys against a really bad Buccaneers defense, like a historically bad defense that on paper doesn't look that bad, but on the field is just horrible. So give me San Francisco.
Yeah, no, I'm taking Tampa Bay here. They're the more together team. I mean, you're going in with Nick Mullins again in his third start. Lit the world on fire in his first game when nobody saw what he could do, and in the second game he blew up the place.
You've got the whole they've got a read on him now thing.
Well, I mean, let's face it, it happened. He didn't light the world on fire 2 days in a row. And Tampa Bay just put up 35, albeit on the Giants, but they put up 35 points offensively.
Albeit on the Giants.
Yeah, but still, and lost.
Yes, they managed to do that.
Are they home, Tampa?
Yes.
All the more reason.
Jags at the Bills. And do you think Kelvin Benjamin misses being a Panther? I looked at his stats, and he's got 302 yards and 1 TD. And he's one of those guys that if you look at their stats, their rookie season is great, and you're like, oh, this guy's going to be incredible. I'm getting him for my fantasy. And then the second year, his stats are like, okay, not quite as good. You got a little bit of a sophomore slump, but I'm sure he learned some stuff. And then it just starts, when he went to the Bills, it just starts cascading downward into horrible. Sorry, I just wanted to go on a little rant there. But I like the Jags in this game. I understand that they're limited in offense, and I understand that their defense has been a disappointment. But with Fournette back, I think they're going to be able to pound the rock, and I think that's all you need to do against the Bills.
Yeah, and they showed it. For a couple quarters against Pittsburgh, they were pretty much dominating them. The Bills are not Pittsburgh. Fournette looked great in his return. Too late to save my 1-11 season in fantasy. But
the Browns of fantasy.
Oh my God! Everyone died on my team. I swear to God, I just go to funerals. Jags by a lot, I think here.
All right, I'm playing as my flex position. I'm playing a corpse, playing the corpse of Larry Zonka,
who scored more than Gronkowski, who never gets in the game anymore.
Who's probably still alive.
Zonka is.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't have. I just killed off Larry Zonka.
That's my hero.
Very sorry. I thought Dick Scott was your hero.
No, my hero is Larry.
Jake Scott. Which Scott?
Jake Scott.
Dick. Who was the Dick then?
Dick Anderson.
Dick Anderson. I knew there was.
We interviewed him. Remember?
Was it Dick Anderson?
I thought find that tape.
I thought it was Scott that we interviewed. It was
Dick Anderson.
Okay, so in my comments from last week, take out Jake Scott and put in Dick Anderson. Anyway, speaking of comments, put some in, folks, and view, and get us over 100 views. Jesus Christ.
Tell your friends just a click.
We're worth 100 views, aren't we?
YouTube's calling us complaining that we're even on. This is our speed version. We're at 12 minutes already.
This is YouTube. You guys suck so bad we'd like you to stop making videos. Well, fuck you, YouTube. We're still going.
That's right. We can
Raiders at Ravens, our fight, and 27 carries for Lamar Jackson. I mean, is he a running back or is he a quarterback?
He didn't even throw the ball the first series.
He's seriously going to break 200 yards rushing in a game before he breaks it passing. That's my prediction.
Yeah, that's not happening.
Can you say RG3 light? I mean, the guy's amazing. I watched him go against Clemson, and I was biting my nails and just fearful on every play. Even like we'd be just about to sack him, and I'm like, he's going to spin out and go for 200 yards on this play. But I don't think it's going to last long in the NFL. You're
never does.
You're taking too many big hits from too many fast guys. I think they will win this game. I think the Raiders are horrible. I think John Gruden is going, why the hell did I give up broadcasting?
Yeah.
So, Crabtree, Brown, Willie Snead, who was evidently bitching about it, like, you guys better get used to the fact, and fantasy owners of these guys better get used to the fact that you're not going to get very many passes. They're going to throw only when necessary. Obviously, John Gruden's going to use his coaching acumen to try and figure out how to spy on Jackson, but you can't. He's too quick for linebackers. Give me the Ravens.
Yeah, I have nothing good to say about Oakland. They actually won this week, which surprised the living hell out of me. That's Gruden's other win this year. I'm taking the Ravens.
They beat the Cardinals, though,
yeah.
and last second field goal. You can't get crazy about those kind of wins. By the way, it's weird. The NFL has got like crappy week, amazing. Oh my God, every matchup is incredible. Last week, to crappy week again.
Yeah, this was a good week. I mean, these games were all close. Look at these scores.
Yeah, last week was a great week, but it's like a shit sandwich or like shit bread and one meaty week. This is a bad week. Seattle at the Panthers should have been a good game, but it isn't. Strangely, even though it's Seattle on the road and blah, 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 I think they finally figured out what we do is we run, and we have Russell Wilson try and make a play on third down.
Mm-hmm.
I like that to beat the Panthers.
Okay. I don't know why you think it's a bad game. I think it's actually a pretty decent matchup this week. I don't see them.
Are you excited about this one? Are you sitting there going, oh man, the playoff implications and either one of these teams could go on a run? I'm not.
Well, no, because it's Seattle. I mean, I've never been excited about that team. I do love the
Oh, back in the
Panthers.
Legion of Boom days.
Ah.
Come on, that was an exciting
They
team.
didn't come on till 8 o'clock at night on the East Coast, for Christ's sake.
I'm asleep by then.
I think the Panthers are the better team here. I'm not saying it won't be close, but I think the Panthers have enough talent on the defense to stop this team. There's no star on the Seattle offense that's worth writing home about running the ball. So I'm taking the Panthers.
I hear you, but they lost to the Lions, and I got to tell you, it's a little weird. Like, you have a 1 point loss to a horrible team, and Cam Newton's out there in a costume again, and you're going like, I get it. Like, you can do the whole Superman and be dress all swaggy or whatever when you're winning, but it seems to me when you're losing to go pick out your fancy hat, and put it on. I don't know. Is that leadership?
Doesn't affect me.
No, I know. It doesn't affect me either. It's one of those.
Some hair flying around here.
It's certainly not mine.
I know it's not yours.
Woo. What do we got?
I don't know. I'm not prepared this week.
We got Pats at Jets, and off
Speaking
the
of not prepared.
off the bye. Are you taking like Todd Bowles, Dead Man Walking? It's the saddest thing.
Here's my Bulls.
They're on the sports radio. Yeah. But that's like on the coin flip. He's like that. They're on sports radio. Like, so do you think you're going to lose your job? I try not to worry about my job. But you're going to get fired. Once again, I try not to worry about my job. I'm trying to do the best job I can as a coach. But you're not going to make it through to next year. All right, you're right. I'm a dead man. I mean, like, what the hell do you want from the guy? So he's got to come off a bye. He's got to go against Belichick and Brady coming off a bye. Yes, it's at home. Oh, goodness, they can spell Jets, Jets. The Patriots need to reestablish themselves as a power in the AFC, and this is where they do it.
Well, I agree with you that they're going to reestablish themselves. I don't think they're the power in the AFC anymore.
A power, not the power.
Yeah. I think they're going to come in here and pretty much, kick the Jets' ass. But it's one of those division games that, just when you're confident enough to pick them, the Jets do something stupid and win.
And win.
But I'm not taking them this week. I typically would take them here just as the upset of the week. And nah.
Giants at Eagles, and Giants fans are now all of a sudden like, oh, we can run the table. We could go 9-7.
We're mathematically alive.
Yeah, you're not. I'm sorry. The Eagles are having a horrible season. It would appear that the loss of Frank Reich was a much bigger thing than anyone thought. I mean, we'll talk about him in a couple of games,
Yeah.
but
Seriously.
they have looked horrible. They weren't even in the game against the Saints. That was just done quickly. The Saints were scoring by accident at the end of that game. Like, we don't even want to do this. I just threw it up there and Kamara ran under it. I'm sorry. It wasn't even a game. It's worst loss. What was it? Worst loss by a Super Bowl champion ever. So the Eagles' season is done, but it's not so done that they're losing at home to the Giants. I will take the Eagles to win this one.
Yeah, I'm not sold that the Giants have beaten anyone good. I don't think either team should even be looking at the playoffs. They should be looking at golf in January. I don't know what happened. I think you're right about the Frank Reich move.
And they lost a quarterback coach, too.
Okay. And the difference is seen in the other team that he went to, and we'll talk about that. But Saquon Barkley, I love him. I thought it was a great pick at number 2.
Yeah, he's lived up.
A lot of people, they should have gone quarterback. Really? Are any of these quarterbacks very, game changers this year?
Here's the thing, though. It's not an either or. So Saquon Barkley can be a great player, and they should have still gone quarterback. I don't know how to explain this.
I look at it. You have
long term. They can always pick up a running back in the later rounds that's going to be a drop off from Barkley, but you cannot do the same with the quarterback. And Eli's done.
But
For
he's
the
a
long-
once in a. I mean, they were talking about him as a once in a generation
And he
kind
is.
of running
He's
back.
he's amazing.
I wouldn't pass up on that. You know what?
I get you, but it's a new NFL. The defensive backs are not allowed to touch a freaking.
I know, but
there was a hit on a defense last night. There was a hit on a defenseless receiver that knocked the ball loose. We used to call that a tackle.
Yeah.
Like, you're not a defenseless receiver if you're trying to catch the ball. And the guy, he didn't go to the head. He didn't launch. Oh, my God. I'm sitting there going, what am I watching? He hit him in, like, the arms where the ball was. It was a safety coming up, and he knocked the ball loose. That's what you're supposed to do. That's football. And that's why I'm having a problem with this 150 fucking point game that they play. There's never a hit on a defenseless receiver called on my Madden game.
Anyway,
No,
Eagles.
I'm sorry. I went a little. Yeah, I did. I went there, but it is. There have been plays where like a guy being blocked goes by the quarterback and his hand goes like that. His hand. He's not hitting him with his forearm. He's not hitting him with an elbow. He's not hitting him with a right hook. His hand is barely hitting the quarterback's head, and they're calling 15 yards.
Yeah, hopefully.
Flags fly every fucking minute
Yeah,
in the
there was a lot of
NFL,
flags.
and you can't watch it because you go, oh, good, I can watch a flag, and then I can watch a replay, then I can watch another flag. Holy crap. Cardinals at the Chargers.
Get off my
What the
lawn!
hell is wrong with Anthony Lynn? You've got one play. You need to run clock. You either pass for a first down or you run the fucking ball and you put it on Case Keenum to beat you. No, you throw a pass that takes 2 seconds. Jesus Christ almighty. You're Phillip Rivers. You're supposed to know that you just go back and stand there until they sack you and you'd be better off. But no, you don't. And you let Case Keenum and the Broncos come back to beat you. But you're playing the freaking Cardinals who can't even beat the Raiders. So take the Chargers. But no, they could be right on the Chiefs' heels. All they had to do was a simple freaking play call, and instead Rivers throws the ball instantaneously into the ground.
Yeah, that
Were
was,
you spiking it? What the hell? Let's spike it and save the Broncos some time. I'm scared of Von Miller.
his face was kind of funky on the way off the field too.
Yeah,
After
like-
he was like, did I just do that?
What did I do?
Oh man.
That's how I play. That's not how a 12-year pro should be playing at quarterback. Sorry.
Who knows? Maybe that's very deflating in the Cardinals. No, I'm just kidding.
More
It's the
beer.
Chargers.
I need more beer. Dolphins at Colts. Go Stu.
All right, so this is where we talk about Frank Reich. Frank Reich has brought Andrew Luck back. This guy is having a significant season this year. The last 5 games, I think, have just been one of the nicest stretches of quarterback play we've seen from Andrew Luck in quite some time. And I think that's a difference in this game, too. Miami is toting out Tannehill supposedly on Sunday. I don't care who goes out there for quarterback. This team cannot cover a tight end, which
Yeah.
Andrew Luck is going to throw to all day long. We can't run the ball. Supposedly we're getting some offensive linemen back. You know what? I'm sick of this merry-go-round of bullshit with my team. Put a good product out there or fire everybody and start from scratch. Get a real fucking general manager who knows what they're doing and get some people out there that can coach. It's enough of these wide-eyed, freaky-eyed Adam Gase people who were miracle play callers for Peyton Manning. I could call Peyton Manning's game.
Peyton
Go call
Manning
your
called
game,
his own
Peyton.
damn game.
Hey, Stu, yeah, do that play that you run.
At Omaha.
Yeah.
Omaha.
I think the Colts smoked the Dolphins this week.
Halle Berry. Kelly Clarkson. Where the hell was I going? Who is your GM? Tannenbaum, right? Oh my God! You took the guy
No,
from.
No, it's Greer. Greer's the GM.
Oh, I thought it was
Tannenbaum's the vice president of football operations. Douche.
whatever. All right, so I'm with you on this. Luck has been playing great. I don't think it's all due to Frank Reich. I think some of it's due to the fact that you've got Eric Ebron and T.Y. Hilton, and you've got Quentin Nelson, and you've got Kelly as your center, and you've improved an offensive line, and you're keeping them upright. They're on a 4-game win streak. These are 2 5-5 teams. This is supposed to be an even matchup, but these are 2 5-5 records that do not feel the same.
Yeah.
One feels like they're ascending, and one feels like
Yeah,
oh
we
my
started
God.
3-0. We're 5-5. They probably started 0-3 and they're 5-5.
Pittsburgh at Denver, and the whole Le'Veon Bell situation is now resolved. He passed up on 14 million. I passed up on 14 cents the other day that I saw laying on the ground. It's about the same. Uh, I'm taking an upset here. I like the Broncos. I watched the game against the Chargers. I like Von Miller. People forget kind of how great he is. Like, he has more sacks than Watt, and they came into the league in the same year, I believe. He's climbing that list of all-time sacks, and it's easy with Khalil Mack and Aaron Donald and teams on the rise.
Well, that's the thing. His team's sort of been.
Yeah, but do not sleep on Von Miller. I mean, the guy is an amazing player. That's a Hall of Famer in my eyes, easily. And
he looks like a professor when he's done playing. He puts on the glasses. I'm like, I think that's the smartest guy in the room.
He's a funny guy. He's got a sense of humor.
I like him.
There's nothing to not like about Von Miller. Case Keenum did what he had to do. He brought him back, and they got the field goal late in that game. He made the passes. I think he was 5 for 5 on that last drive. Somebody can check me on that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking the Broncos. I think that they have been slightly disappointing this year. I think the Steelers, people are now putting them up in the top 4, top 3, top 5, whatever, power rankings. I think that's a little overrated. So give me the Broncos and a wee bit of an upset at home.
No, I'm not taking the Broncos here. I think Pittsburgh.
I
know. Well, I'm not. You can't make.
Well, I could make you. I could hammerlock.
And what is that hat? I don't understand it.
Chatima.
What is that?
It's a watch brand. I used to work for a watch-related company.
Something ripped off, and it used to be something else.
Seiko, Tatima watches. Buy yourself a Damasco. Look it up, or a Muley Glashuta. Good
God
stuff.
Bless you. Anywho, Pittsburgh offensively is much better than Denver is, and obviously on defense, other than Von Miller, I think Pittsburgh's the overall better team. It's late in the season. It's probably going to be snowing and shit out there. These are the games that Pittsburgh wins. Take a Pittsburgh.
I got to tell you, this is one of those games where I feel like Ben Roethlisberger is going to have one of those 4 interception games. It's a Stu's probably right, but it's one of those gut calls that you occasionally have to make. Green Bay at the Vikings, and man, was that depressing. My kid is sitting there in his Trubisky jersey. I'm watching the start of the game, and Trubisky is making plays, and I'm going, we're done. We're done. By the way, we should have, on the first freaking possession, we should have challenged the spot. And instead, we just, we didn't get that first down, and we end up punting, and we seem to have forgotten that Adam Thielen exists. I don't understand why. So the score looked close, but the game was not close. We've disappointed on both sides of the ball. Our linebackers have been a big disappointment to me. Our offensive line has not been as good as I had hoped, including this O'Neal kid who gets pushed around a bit, to be quite frank. He doesn't anchor down and put his butt in the sand and stop the power rush. Having said all that, Green Bay is not great against, and I'm sorry, talk about disappointments. Kirk Cousins has lived up to his part of the bargain. Dalvin Cook has not lived up to his part of the bargain. We've got 324 total yards this year. We've got 0 TDs. We have 2 TDs for our career. If you're only there for 1/3 of the games, that's the kind of stats you have. But he's back and he's supposedly healthy. 3.6, a rush. It's just not getting it done. But Green Bay is not good against the rush. They give up 126 yards a game. Murray and Cook at home should be able to move, the ball effectively. I'm taking the Vikings, but I think it's the Bears division.
You know what? They're all close. What are they? 2 games out?
What do we got here?
The Bears are 7, and the
7-3, 5-4-1 for the Vikes, 4-5-1 for the Packers.
I mean this game has a lot of meaning.
Hell, Detroit's 4-6.
Yeah, but this has a lot of meaning for the Vikings. I mean, they could get should things work out.
Yeah, last week had a lot of meaning for us. Last week was when you established yourself as the kingpins of the division, and we got slapped around.
And I wish this game were outdoors.
Slapped.
If this game were outdoors, I'd be
Khalil
taking
Mack
the
took
Vikings.
his dick and went, boom! And they didn't call a penalty on him when he hit Kirk Cousins in the head.
If this game were outside, I'd take the Vikings, but I'm taking Aaron Rodgers to win a game indoors.
Yeah, that's our problem. We built a dome.
Stupid shits. It even collapsed on you once to tell you this should be an outdoor stadium.
God, I miss the Metrodome. The metronome.
The methadone.
I need some methadone. Titans at Texans,
Holy
and it's
crap,
too
this
bad.
is a 6-minute speed version.
Too bad the season didn't. Yeah. Well, you know what? Fuck you people. You're
Hey,
not
thanks.
watching
Yeah,
anyway.
no one's. If you're watching it at this point, woo! Welcome
Yeah.
to the show.
If you're watching it at this point, God bless you.
We love you.
Too bad the season did start 3 weeks later for the Titans. They're on a 7-game win streak. As you know, if you watch this at all, I love the.
They just
I
lost.
love, excuse me, the Texans. Did I say the
Oh,
Titans?
yeah.
Titans suck. Texans are on a 7-game win streak. Deshaun Watson is about my third favorite player in the NFL. Give me the Texans. And the Watt brothers are tied right now for sacks, 10 each. So that's a fun race to watch.
I have no idea what to make of this game. Tennessee should be winning more games than they are.
Yeah.
The Texans squeak out a game with Washington because the quarterback went down. I think that could have gone the other way had Theismann not gotten injured, because I just can't remember his name at the moment.
Smith. Speaking of which, Mariota's injured. Mariota, they're saying it's his elbow, but he came off the field like, oh, my hand, oh, my hand.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with Mariota. I would take Tennessee here, but he's been injured a lot over the last 2 seasons. And you know what? The Texans are a little better.
7-game win streak. You don't mess with that till it ends. Anyway, that's electric football. That's Stu Pace.
That's Steve Brown. That's Thanksgiving. See you next week. I don't know where the mouse is here.